Hey everyone, and welcome back to my sister's TBR. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Stacy, and we're back with our mid-month catch-up.
We're chatting about the March releases that have caught our eye this month.
And we're sharing the bookish news that we've sleuthed out.
And what books we're currently diving into.
There's so many. I have been hard into the mood reading.
Oh, yes.
I've started so many. So we'll see how many I actually discuss this episode.
Okay, that's fine.
Think of this like our virtual coffee date, where we talk about all of our favorite things, books.
Duh. And things not related to books.
Yeah, that's just because we're spicy.
So pour yourself a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's catch up.
Okay, do we want to do news first or the new releases? What are you feeling like?
New releases. I love this part. All right.
Take it away, Ernie.
We haven't said that in a while.
We haven't.
Proud of us.
Uh-huh.
Very proud of us. All right. So, first up on our list is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. This is the number 4 in the Dream Harbor series.
Side note, didn't we feature her Pumpkin Spice Cafe?
Yes, we did.
Okay, fun.
And they're all individually standalones, right? But kind of cross.
Yeah, like the characters are in, yeah.
Okay. So this is expected to release March 13th, which is in the past. Totally. 384 pages, and it is a contemporary romance and a cozy mystery. Interesting. As a renowned chef, single dad Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake restaurant. But Dream Harbor needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter, Olive. Iris has never managed to hold down a job for more than a few months. So when Mayor Kelly suggests Archer is looking for a nanny and Iris might be available, she shudders at the thought. But in need of money, she reluctantly agrees. As Archer and Iris get used to their new roles, is it possible that they might have more in common than they first thought, or is Olive just determined to play matchmaker? That's cute.
I love the single dad romances. Don't know what it is about it, but I love it. Love it. I'm going to give everybody Whiplash. The next new release is The Third Rule of Time Travel by Philip Fracassi. And this is a science fiction horror time travel.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. It's expected to be published March 18th, and it's 325 pages. Rule 1, travel can only occur to a point within your lifetime. Rule 2, you can only travel for 90 seconds. Rule 3, you can only observe. The rules cannot be broken. Scientist Beth Darlow has discovered the unimaginable. She's built a machine that allows human consciousness to travel through time to any point in the traveler's lifetime and relive moments of their life. An impossible breakthrough, but it's not perfect. The traveler has no way to interact with the past. They can only observe. After Beth's husband, Coulson, the co-creator of the machine, dies in a tragic car accident, Beth is left to raise Isabella, their only daughter, and continue the work they started. Marred in grief and threatened by her ruthless CEO, Beth pushes herself to the limit to prove the value of her technology. Then the impossible happens. Simply viewing personal history should not alter the present, but with each new observation she makes, her own timeline begins to warp. As her reality constantly shifts, Beth must solve the puzzles of her past, even if it means forsaking her future. I got goosebumps.
Okay, I don't normally read sci-fi. I don't know why. It's just I don't gravitate towards that, but that sounds absolutely amazing.
Oh my God.
Like the different timelines, I love that. Like,
yeah.
I love that. That sounds
and
so
like
interesting.
there's so much like mystery to that. Ooh, I
would read that.
I'm definitely going to read that.
All right, let's add it. Let's get her done.
To the TBR.
To the TBR. So, take another twist again. We're going to go back to another contemporary romance. Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bestone. This is 416 pages, and it came out March 4th. And like I said, it's a contemporary romance. Lenny's a bit of a mess at the moment. Her best friend Lou recently passed away after a battle with cancer, and her death has left Lenny feeling completely lost. She's avoiding her concerned parents, the apartment she shared with Lou, and the list of things she's supposed to do to help her live again. The only thing she can do is temporary babysitting gigs. And luckily, she just landed a great one helping overworked single mom Reese and her precocious daughter Ainsley. It's not perfect. Ainsley's uncle Miles always seems to be around and is kind of a huge jerk. But if Lenny acts like she has it all together, maybe no one will notice she's falling apart. Miles sees right through her though. Turns out he knows a lot about grief and, surprisingly, he offers her a proposition. He'll help her complete everything on her live again list if she'll help him connect with Ainsley and overcome his complicated relationship with Reese. Lenny doubts anything can fill the hole Lou has left behind, but as she begins to spend more time with Miles, Lenny is surprised to discover that sometimes losing everything is only the first step to finding yourself and love again.
That sounds like it's going to be really sad.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I do really like her writing. I've read a couple now by her and phenomenal. So I'm very, very excited for this one because I know her writing and I just devoured it. Devoured.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Another big switch. We have a romantasy that is very much like Howl's Moving Castle, which holds a very special spot in my heart.
Cute.
It's called A Harvest of Hearts by Andrea Emes. It was published March 4th, so it is currently out. It's 448 pages. Before Foss Butcher was snagged, she thought no more of the magic users than did anyone else in her tiny village. Sometimes gorgeous women in impossible carriages rolled into town and took bits of people's hearts. Everyone knew hearts fueled their magic, but Foss, plain, clumsy, and practical as a boot, never expected anyone would want hers. True enough, when the only sorcerer in the kingdom stepped from his glossy carriage, he didn't intend to hook Foss. Sylvester's riot of black curls and perfectly etched cheekbones caught her eye a moment too long. That was all. Suddenly, Foss is cursed and finds herself stomping toward the grand city to keep his enchanted house, where her only friend is a talking cat and the walls themselves have moods. But as Foss learns the ways of magic, she realizes she's far from its only unwilling captive. Even Sylvester is hemmed in by spells and threats. It's said this sorcery protects king, country, and order for thousands. If Foss wants to free herself, and perhaps Sylvester, she'll have to confront it all and uncover the blight nestled in the heart of the kingdom itself. Massive Howl's Moving Castle vibes.
I love that.
It's very, very similar to Howl's Moving Castle.
The cover's so pretty too.
It is. It's very eye-catching.
Oh.
I don't know if it's adult or young adult because both tags are used. So
a bit of both, I guess.
Maybe do a little research if you're iffy.
All right. Up next, we have Lucy Score. I feel like she holds like a special place for us here.
Well, she does. She was our very first featured read.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that. So this is Story of My Life, which is number 1 in the Story Lake series. This is 605 pages, and it's coming out March 13th.
Loves her big books.
Yeah. Which, like, I'm okay with. As long as it's a good book, I want it to be longer.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the 5th Harry Potter book, fucking massive. And it's still not long enough.
She chunky.
Yeah. This is contemporary romance again, small town romance. We love those. Lucy loves those.
Mm-hmm.
Hazel is given a 1-2 punch when she's forced to move out of her Upper East Side apartment and is given a final warning from her publisher. If she doesn't turn in a book by her next deadline, they're cutting her loose. Hazel rashly decides to leave what's left of her city life behind and impulse buys a house in rural Pennsylvania sight unseen. How better to entertain the loyal readers she has and rediscover her writing mojo than immersing herself in small town life? Too bad this town looks to be on its last legs. At least she's finding swoon-worthy inspiration from her hot, grumpy contractor Cam and his animal rescuing, community-involved family. It's all just research. What could go wrong?
Oh, I wonder what could go wrong.
I have no idea, Lucy.
It's funny because we read so many of these.
I was going to say, this all sounds like we just read something like this. Like, this sounds so familiar.
It's like Hallmark movies. They're all the same.
Yeah. We know how it ends.
Even the same actors.
Yeah.
I will still eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the note that Lucy has at the end of that, if you wanted to read it out.
A note from the author. The series is my love letter to every reader who said they wanted to move to a fictional town. Oh.
I mean, who hasn't?
Take us away. Ooh, I like this cover.
Summer in the City by Alex Astor. This is a contemporary romance. It's 305 pages, and its expected publication is March 25th.
Question.
She wrote the Lightlark series.
Okay, that was going to be my question. If it was a he or a she.
Yes, she.
Or they. Sorry. We're inclusive here.
Yes. Yeah, she. Alex Astor. She wrote the Lightlark series. This is her debut romance novel. I love that. I do really like the Lightlark book, which is being adapted for screen. Just saying. Yeah, so I'm excited. This is her debut romance novel. So I'm very intrigued because I do like her writing in Lightlark. I guess I should tell everybody what it's about.
Yes, please.
Okay. 27-year-old screenwriter Elle has the chance of a lifetime to write a big budget movie set in New York City. The only problem? She's had writer's block for months and her screenplay is due at the end of summer. In a desperate attempt at inspiration, Elle ends up back in the city she swore she would never return to, in an apartment she could never afford, floor-to-ceiling windows, skyline views, and a new coffee shop to haunt included. This feels like it is reverse of the book that you just talked about by Lucy Score.
Yeah.
I love that.
Literally.
It's a perfect place to write her screenplay until she realizes her new neighbor is tech billionaire bachelor Parker Warren, her stairwell hookup from 2 years ago. It's been a lovers to enemies situation ever since. That's interesting. The reverse enemies to lovers.
All right.
When seeing him again turns into a full night of hate-fueled writing, Elle realizes her enemy-twisted muse might just be the key to finishing her screenplay, if she can stand being around her polar opposite. She writes anonymously, and he's on the cover of every business magazine. He frequents fancy red-carpeted events, and she doesn't like leaving her emotional, supportive 5-block radius. One summer, one wall apart. He needs to fake a buzzy relationship during his company's precarious acquisition. She needs to write a movie around a list of New York City locations. Both need a break from their unrelenting schedules and a chance to rediscover the skyscraper glimmering, pizza-crusted, sunlit charms of the city. Summers always end, and so will this agreement. It's all pretend. Promise. Until it isn't.
Oh. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That sounds cute.
Love it.
That sounds cute.
Yep. And I just love that cover. Like, that's so bright. I judge a book by its cover every single time.
It, the bright of it, and like even the just the style of it, it looks a lot like Emily Henry's books.
Mm.
It has the same something. Is very much like the Emily Henry books, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I mean, it obviously works. It obviously works. But it also reminds me, like, that fluorescent color also reminds me of Ashley Poston's books. Poston.
Oh, yeah.
Ashley Poston's books.
Yep. Yeah.
7 Year Slip and The Dead Romantics. Like, that same color scheme. Yeah. Like the bright, vibrant neon. I love it. It's so eye-catching. So
now we're going to go into a different genre here. The next one is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. It is 480 pages, and it is coming out March 25th, and it's a mystery thriller. Love. This is more my speed now.
Yeah.
After the unexpected death of her father, college student Jane Sharp longs for a distraction from her grief. She becomes obsessed with true crime, befriending armchair detectives who teach her how to hunt killers from afar. In this morbid internet underground, Jane finds friendship, purpose, and even glory. So when news of the shocking deaths of 3 college girls in Delphine, Idaho, takes the world by storm, and sleuths everywhere race to solve the crimes, Jane and her friends are determined to beat them. But the case turns out to be stranger than anyone expected. Details don't add up, the police are cagey, and there seems to be more media hype and internet theorizing than actual evidence. When Jane and her sleuths take a step closer, they find that every answer only begs more questions. Something's not adding up, and they begin to suspect their killer may be smarter and more prolific than they've faced before. Placing themselves in the center of the story starts to feel more and more like walking into a trap. Told 1 year after the astounding events that concluded the case and left the world reeling, when Jane has finally decided to break her silence about what really happened, she tells the true story of the Delphine massacres, and what she has to confess will shock even the most seasoned true crime fans.
She did it.
Is this real?
I don't think.
Or no? Okay.
Yeah, I think she just means like the true story in the story. Gotcha. Yeah.
I want to read that.
I am putting it out there now. If we do read it, I'm betting that she killed them. She's the... You have to read it and prove me wrong.
I feel like that's too obvious.
Maybe. But
hiding
things in plain sight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True. True.
Oh, we have another romantasy. This one's witches. So I guess it's more of like a paranormal. Spells, Strings, and Forgotten Things by Brianne Randall. 400 pages, and it was released March the 4th. In the small town of Gold Springs, Calliope Petridi and her 2 sisters carefully guard the secret of their magic and the price they must pay to practice memories. They must pay to practice memories. The more powerful the magic, the greater the memory required. Luckily, that's a difficult name. Luckily, all Calliope wants to do is forget. Forget the mother who left them without a trace. Forget the cracks in her relationship with her judgmental older sister, Thalia, and her distant middle sister, Eurydice. What the fuck are these names? Forget about the very cost of her magic. And most of all, forget the way the love of her life shattered her heart 2 years ago. But when an ancient evil awakens in their town, the fragile thread that holds the sisters together breaks. As their magic slowly begins to fade, Calliope accidentally binds herself to an annoyingly handsome leader of a rival coven infamous for their ruthless pursuit of power. Battling a sizzling chemistry to a man she can't trust, Calliope needs to confront her sisters and the painful memories of her past, dark family secrets, and ancient magic in order to keep the town and all she loves safe. But will she have anything left for herself? Okay.
Okay.
You know, I've been wanting a good, like, witch series to dive into. Maybe I'll have to read this one.
An annoyingly handsome leader. Enemies to lovers.
Well, rivals to lovers.
Yep. Here we go.
Love it.
Sounds great to me.
The news. The good and the bad.
All right. So, is anybody familiar with the app Quinn? I talked about it.
Oh my gosh, how long ago?
That was April before I moved up here. So April 2023.
Oh.
Holy shit. That's like 2 years ago. Anyway, we're not going to talk about it. It's like audio books, technically very graphic, very immersive. Like the one that I listened to was narrated by
Jackson.
What's his last name? What's his name in Bridgerton?
What? He's in Bridgerton?
Yeah. Wait.
The one by Jesse. Hold on.
Right.
Jesse Williams,
Emily
right?
in Paris. Right? Emily in Paris?
Was he in Emily in Paris?
I can't even remember who it was now.
He's in Grays.
Him! Jackson from Grays with the blue eyes. I was getting him mixed up with multiple different actors.
Jeez, you had me so confused.
Holy shit. I had myself confused. Okay. Jackson from Grays. Oh my god. Anyway, so it was like really interesting because they would have like, he would be sitting in a cafe and the door would open and you'd hear like the chimes and you'd hear like the coffee brewing and you'd hear teacups. Anyway, so I also realized that Quinn, like they write their own books, basically. Yeah. Yep. So they've been teasing us all week with a new release that they are releasing. Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
AKA yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The day before. Anyway, on the
Thursday. 13th.
Thursday. Quinn is releasing a new...
Oh my god, you need to bring up one of the videos and just play the little snippet that they give us in one of their TikToks. Oh, his voice just scratches my brain so good.
Okay, so it's called Tonight at Midnight. OMG.
That's not what it's called. That's when it releases.
No, sorry. Back on track. So it's only available on the Quinn app. It is called The Trials. And it is narrated by Jamie Campbell Bower. AKA
God Among Men. I mean, sorry.
Grindelwald?
Yep. City of Bones. He was Jace. Yep. And Vecna on Stranger Things. I mean, the man has done so much. The perfect Jace, might I add. Twilight.
I'm going to note here or preface here that the Quinn app is all very spicy. Very, 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 very spicy.
Adult.
Like, yeah.
Because this is your first official preview of Jamie Campbell Bower in The Trials, his romantasy, smutty audio series coming out only on the Quinn app.
Don't you ever get tired of being perfectly in control all the time? Maybe, in the right context, you actually love giving up control. The way you took directions from me last night in the bar. I bet that if I kissed your throat right there, where your pulse is, I would find your heart rate is through the roof.
I'm going to tell you right now that you're not ready for this.
No, we are not ready for this.
Oh my word. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Yep.
And kind of going through that avenue of Harry Potter, we've got some...
PG.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're doing a big old flip right here.
Yeah.
We do have some casting news, and I am sure everybody has heard all about it right now. But we did find out who Snape's actor will be.
Right.
Not quite so thrilled. And even like everybody on Book Talk, on Bookstagram, are talking about how nobody, and it's of all races, are in agreement that he should not have been cast for Snape. I'm not even sure what his name is. Hold on. Let me.
He doesn't fit the description.
No, and that's the biggest issue that everybody's having is most of the characters in the Harry Potter universe are not described in a way that can be limited to race. Snape was. He was like the one of the very few characters that was listed as all of these attributes. Now, with this also comes into the fact of they wanted to be more true to the Harry Potter stories, the series. That was their whole mindset going into this, was we are going to be more true to the stories that haven't been told through the movies, that they wanted to go into all these new avenues. And the biggest issue now with having a Black actor play as Snape, when they dive into Snape's backstory where he was bullied and all of the things that James and the Marauders did to Snape, now they're all racist. There's no way that they can portray Snape getting bullied and not bring in a racist,
Yeah, or receive racist, like, backlash. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So how is all of that going to play out? I feel so bad for him.
That's such an important part in the series, too.
Yeah.
To explain why he's so fucking...
Yeah. As awful as he is.
On hating James and therefore Harry. But
in a little better casting news of Harry Potter, we did get the in talks of playing McGonagall is Janet McTeer. She's in
63? Damn.
No, but yeah, she's I think she looks very on point. I'm pleased with that. I think that they'll do a really good job with casting her as McGonagall if it goes through. But I mean, so far everybody that they've said is in talks, like John Lithgow being Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Like that was in talks and right. So I think it's safe to assume. But I mean, obviously nobody will ever compare but to the original actors, right? Yep. But I mean, they're off to a good start with those two.
Yep. Kind of dropped the ball a little bit on Snape, but it's fine.
We'll see how it goes. Oh my God.
So, Rebecca Yarros announced that there's going to be a graphic novel adaptation of Fourth Wing.
I'm so excited. It's just going to be a new way to experience all of the trauma. All of the trauma.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate it.
I'm cool with graphic novels. I do really enjoy them. I think they're a great form of storytelling. I don't know if that's just me being biased because of the way that I don't visualize novels. So graphic novels paints that picture for me. That is a, damning.
That's valid.
Yeah. Well, now I know why I like graphic novels so much.
I'm having serious deja vu right now.
Oh, God.
I don't know why.
Do you want me to pick my nose? That'll break your deja vu, right?
It's already broken.
Perfect.
That was so weird. Anyway.
What are big sisters for if not to break deja vu by being a weirdo?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. The Summer I Turned Pretty season 3 has been announced to air July of this summer.
Yay.
But it's also going to be the final season.
Yeah. Also cries. I seen talks, or not talks, but it's kind of like people just conspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like, you know how on each movie poster or whatever has like, for the first 2 seasons has like the boys in it, but then on the third one it's just her. Mm-hmm. So I seen somebody post and was like, is this like a like choose yourself type of, you know, because I never read the books. Okay. Oh. Don't tell me. Don't ruin it. Shh.
I'm not. I won't. Okay. I don't know if the series is going to follow like the books. I don't have a clue. So we'll see. I'm still so excited. I love that series.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Oh. And I don't know if it's just because like it's something that I watch with Nikki, so it just like feels a little more special.
Yeah. I love that.
So I am stoked for the summer.
Come on, July. Then People We Meet on Vacation wrapped recording back in October. So we're likely going to see that release date sometime in 2025 or be released in 2025.
Oh, I love Emily Henry. I love her books, and I have very high expectations. And I know I need to squash that.
It's okay.
But I don't want to, because I want to go in this with super high expectations. I think like Emily Henry might be one of like my favorite writers.
Yeah,
authors.
I think she is.
So I'm very, very excited. Also, another adaptation that's coming is the House of Night series, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but Marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast.
Yeah, I remember like you looking for those.
Yeah. They were like one of those YA, like the same era as like Twilight and City of Bones and you know all that. Like that was So that is going to be adapted to screen. A movie adaptation, which there's like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, I think there's like 12 or 13 books in the series. So I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing or if they are like super condensing into a movie. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, it's a mother-daughter duo who wrote the series.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I love that, like, all of these book series that, I don't know, that, like, defined my teen years are just, like, resurfacing, and there's just, like, fun things happening with them. I love that so much.
Come full circle.
Uh-huh.
Then Quicksilver by Kelly Hart is getting adapted into a movie for Netflix. I need to read that. I've been meaning to.
Same.
There's so many.
I haven't yet.
So many things I've been meaning to read.
And Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver has found its screenwriter, Laura Kassan. And I am like, I know you haven't read it, right? You didn't.
I will. I promise.
Seeing this on screen is just going to be wild. I am so hopeful for this adaptation.
Amazing. So I think everybody has seen this, that Hulu scrapped ACOTAR, definitely. But now that means that the rights to the screen adaptation of ACOTAR is getting reverted back to Sarah J. Maas this summer.
I hope that means that like HBO Max will pick it up now.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
But also with this, Sarah has more of a say now over where it's going to go, who's going to take it, what's going to happen with it. She might sit on it for like 20 years, but the fact is that Hulu wasn't going to do this justice. I don't care what anybody says. I do not think Hulu was going to do this justice.
No.
So at least now, I don't know, that window is open again, that it could be picked up by somebody better. Somebody that we like.
I hope we get to see that at some point in our lives. Oh my God.
And also Netflix has picked up making Twisted Love into a series.
Oh,
very excited about that too. I only read the first one so far, but it was really good.
Ange couldn't get into it.
I started the second one, but I could not do the narrator. I was listening to the audiobook. And then when I went back to like the novel to read it, I just wasn't vibing with it at all then. So I don't know if I need to like try to put the narrator out of my head. Just give it a little while.
Probably. Yeah. All right. Well, that sums up clues up our news and releases.
This is a pretty big week of news.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, what are you currently reading?
Yet again, for another episode. I've been mentally going through it lately.
Yeah.
So I haven't been doing like a whole lot of reading, but I've been really trying. But I am currently reading 3 books.
3 books. Okay. That's quite the juggle.
Okay. You will be proud to know that my first current read of this month is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston.
Yes. How far are you? I just want to relive it.
I am a third way in.
Oh, it was such a good book.
I am 34% complete. Okay.
How are you feeling? Your face doesn't say I love it.
No, I do love it. Hold on, let me just go back. Okay. So this is a magical realism contemporary romance. 336 pages. Sometimes the worst day of your life happens and you have to figure out how to live after it. So Clementine forms a plan to keep her heart safe. Work hard, find someone decent to love, and try to remember to chase the moon. The last one is silly and obviously metaphorical, but her aunt always told her that you needed at least one big dream to keep going. And for the last year, that plan has gone off without a hitch, mostly. The love part is hard because she doesn't want to get too close to anyone. She isn't sure her heart can take it. And then she finds a strange man standing in the kitchen of her late aunt's apartment. A man with kind eyes and a southern drawl and a taste for lemon pies. The kind of man that, before it all, she would have fallen head over heels for, and she might again. Except he exists in the past, 7 years ago to be exact. And she, quite literally, lives 7 years in his future. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended together like watercolors. And Clementine knows that if she lets her heart fall, she'll be doomed. After all, love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing. Beautiful. I actually love it. I think it is so cute. I love him. I love his accent. I love his eyes. I love
everything.
I love everything.
Yeah, this is literally already a contender for my favorite book this year. Like, honest to God, I know I hype it up so much, and I don't know if anybody feels the same way as I do about it, but that book just, my heart just like grew. It just grew.
That's what I'm hoping to happen.
It's so, so good.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried going in just because where it is a romance and I haven't really read many romances in the last year. But I think it's so, so sweet. And I don't know. It just, I love it.
I hope it's just enough of like sweetness and not like, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Not romance, because it is obviously romance, but like just enough of that balance that, you know, you just love it. But
yeah. Like it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it so far.
I am reading, I think I'm only reading 4 right now.
Okay. Look at you with moderation.
Yes. 4. That's it.
Okay.
So first, I am listening to the audiobook of our book club book, which is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm really enjoying this one. It's a thriller mystery, so it's right up your alley.
Amazing.
383 pages, so not bad. At 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope. Now reduced to a schoolyard chant, the Hope family murders shocked the Maine coast one bloody night in 1929. While most people assume 17-year-old Lenora was responsible, the police were never able to prove it. Other than her denial after the killings, she has never spoken publicly about that night, nor has she set foot outside of Hope's End, the cliffside mansion where the massacres occurred. Stabbed her father with a knife, took her mother's happy life. This is like the poem is like being said in between the paragraphs of the description, okay?
I love that.
Yeah. It's now 1983, and home health aide Kit McDear arrives at a decaying Hope's End to care for Lenora after her previous nurse fled in the middle of the night. In her 70s and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora was rendered mute by a series of strokes and can now only communicate with Kit by tapping out sentences on an old typewriter. One night, Lenora uses it to make a tantalizing offer. I want to tell you everything. It wasn't me, Lenora said, but she's the only one not dead. As Kit helps Lenora write about the events leading to the Hope family massacre, it becomes clear there's more to the tale than people know. But when new details about her predecessor's departure come to light, Kit starts to suspect Lenora might not be telling the complete truth, and that the seemingly harmless woman in her care could be more dangerous than she first thought. Ooh.
Damn it, that sounds really good.
She's spooky. Yeah, so I'm like, right off the bat, I'm like, just totally involved in this story. I have no clue where it's going, what's happening, I know what's happening. It's not like it's a confusing premise, but you know, I'm just like, holy crap. There's like so much. Apparently, like there's a lot of really good twists in it. So naturally, as I'm listening, thinking like, I'm gonna figure it out, right?
Yeah, playing Clue.
We'll see. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Riley Sager's books, his writing. Yeah, so I'm really excited. But it's giving like real spooky, weird vibes. Like,
are you getting this isn't the heebie-jeebies yet?
Yeah, 100%. Because like as she enters like this mansion, it's like she's just tossed back to 1929. Like the housekeeper, she makes everybody dress in like the old school like maid outfit, and she has to wear like the nurse with like the cap and everything. Like this place literally is just like time stood still.
Stuck in time. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So we're gonna see where it goes. I
want to read it.
You should read it and then actually join the book club meeting.
I'm always so busy, but like around the same time that you guys are recording or meeting.
Meeting, yeah. But yeah. What is your book number 2?
My book number 2 is actually another Freida McFadden.
Wow, I could have bet on that.
So I've been eyeing this one, so every time that I'm in the mood for a Freida, I always just go into my Audible or Kindle Unlimited, whatever I'm in the mood for, and I just scroll until I find one that kind of just pops out at me. I've been eyeing this one every single time, but I've never jumped on it for some reason. I'm not sure. Brain Damage. So obviously, mystery thriller. Surprise, surprise. It's 400 pages. Oh, this 2016. Damn.
Wow.
After years of hard work, Dr. Charlie McKenna finally has it all. Preposterous career as a dermatologist, check. Spacious apartment overlooking Central Park, check. Handsome lawyer husband, double check. Then one night, a bullet rips through the right side of her skull and she loses everything. As Charlie struggles to recover from her brain injury, she begins to realize that the events of that fateful night are trapped in the damaged right side of her brain. Now, she must put the jigsaw pieces together to discover the identity of the man who tried to kill her, before he finishes the job he started.
Okay.
Good so far. Again, trying to figure it out as soon as she like brings up a new character in each chapter. There's too many right now. Like I can't narrow it down. I cannot figure it out. There's too many people that it could possibly be. There's two like obvious ones, or like too obvious, you know what I mean? Like like it's not the husband, but is it the husband?
Was it her shooting herself?
Also true.
I would not put it past Frida to find a way.
My brain didn't go there. Yeah, so I'm intrigued. I'm hoping to get the good plot twists again. Crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
So good so far.
Hopefully it's better than The Crash.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I just didn't like it. Yeah.
No. What's your next?
So I can't really talk about it because it is technically the third or fourth, whichever way you're looking at it, book in the Throne of Glass series.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I'm not going to talk about that one other than the fact YA fantasy series that literally everybody should already know about. Go read it.
Go do it.
Yes. But other than that one, the other one that I have is a Dramini fan fiction. Of course. Of course. I am going hard for Dramini fan fiction. The last little while, I have just been like, whatever AO3 can give me, I've been taking.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this one, I needed a little bit of a break from like the heavy, heartbreaking Dramini, right?
Yeah.
So this one is called Two Weddings and a Manhunt. And and without giving like AO3 doesn't really give you a great description of the fan fictions. We've already established that. So I'm going to attempt to give you a little description of the book.
All right.
Okay. And yeah, my broken brain way. So, Blaine and Astoria are getting married. There's like the whole bachelor party where Theo, Blaze, Goyle, and Draco are supposed to go to a chalet in France, have this like nice bachelor party, right? Theo hijacks it, and the port key brings them to Las Vegas.
Oh.
Okay, so these are wizards now in Las Vegas.
Amazing.
He also happens to bring Hermione, which is like a lot of, it's something that leads to her accidentally being, kidnapped, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, so it ends up, the drunken, crazy night that nobody can remember, they have to like backstep through the whole night trying to find everybody from the bachelor party while realizing that Hermione and Draco got married.
Okay.
And it is legally binding, and marriage is very binding in the magical community. So there's a lot of steps that they now need to take to get an annulment, basically. But I have a feeling that it's just not going to get that far, right?
We don't want it to get that far.
No. So it's a more comical Dramini. It's, I can't even like express how much I love the way that, I don't even remember the author of this one. You'll have to forgive me because I don't even know how to find it right now. But she writes Draco and Hermione accurate, I think, to how Rowling had written them, but like aged up, obviously, because they're adults, right?
Yep.
It's in the same universe as the Harry Potter series, so it's not like crazy alternate universe or alternate reality. It's very good so far. I'm like halfway through.
I love that.
And it's just like candy. Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. I love it all.
Yeah. It's very strange reading so much Dramini while reading Philosopher's Stone.
I was going to ask how that is settling in.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how, like, I'm good at compartmentalizing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to, like, cause too many issues throughout the series. But I'm still, like, that part of my brain is just like, kiss.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's pretty well what I'm reading right now. I do have a couple other Hermione fanfics on pause. Like I said, I really needed to take a break from the really heavy ones that I was reading.
Yeah.
Ones that I have found out do not end in a HEA, a happily ever after.
Oh.
So I don't know if I'm just going to straight up DNF or finish it, because I know what happens at the end now. And I do not want, I'm not going to say like what it is, but like they both die at the end. I don't think I can read that.
I'm not ready for another heartbreak.
Yeah.
Like Manacled.
No. And I know that was like 2 years ago, but I
still not over it.
No, I will never be over Manacled. And now like the auction is also up there with.
Yeah.
Just like heart. My heart can't take it. I think I'm going to DNF it because I do not want to read a book where he finally gets the girl and then she dies and then he dies.
Oh my God.
Like I can't do it. So I'm done.
Just get rid of it.
DNF.
Get rid of it. We don't need that negativity.
Exactly. So that's why I had to go and look for a nice like rom-com style Hermione.
Love that. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. And then I think our last book that we're both reading is
the featured read.
Philosopher's Stone. Do you want to read it out? Do you want to announce?
Sure. All right. So our featured read for this month is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Or Sorcerer's Stone, depending on what part of the world you're in. It's the UK versus the US version. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So if there's any people living under a rock out there, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is a young adult fantasy fiction. I've actually never read the description to this. I'm so curious.
No?
I really don't think so. Turning the envelope over, his hand trembling, Harry saw a purple wax seal bearing a coat of arms, a lion, an eagle, a badger, and a snake surrounding a large letter H. Harry Potter has never even heard of Hogwarts when the letters start dropping on the doormat at number 4 Privet Drive. Addressed in green ink on yellowish parchment with a purple seal, they are swiftly confiscated by his grisly aunt and uncle. Then, on Harry's 11th birthday, a great beetle-eyed giant of a man called Rubeus Hagrid bursts in with some astonishing news. Harry Potter is a wizard, and he has a place at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. An incredible adventure is about to begin.
Okay. That's an interesting description.
Like, yeah. Like, I never read them until 2021, I think it was. But it just, like, reading this again I just feel so nostalgic. Mm-hmm. Even though I didn't read it in my childhood, but, like, it just...
I know.
Love it.
I read them all as they were released. And, like, going back now, rereading them. And I know it's not my first time rereading, but I'm trying to, like, place myself as, like, my younger self as I'm reading it. And it's just so fun just reading it with, you know, like, my 30-plus-year-old eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, just thinking about, like, how bonkers some of this stuff is. Like, as a 30-year-old reading Harry Potter, and they're leaving Harry Potter out on the doorstep all night. Yeah. You know, like, just...
Why not?
Yeah, like, it's things that I didn't bat an eye at as a kid reading it. And now reading it, I'm just like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, something's not right.
Yeah, but I'm just loving it. I love... What did you read? Like, what did you read that from? Because the one that I'm reading, the description says, Harry Potter has no idea how famous he is. That's because he's being raised by his miserable aunt and uncle who are terrified Harry will learn that he's really a wizard, just as his parents were. But everything changes when Harry is summoned to attend an infamous school of wizards, and he begins to discover some clues about his illustrious birthright, from the surprising way he is greeted by a lovable giant to the unique curriculum and colorful faculty at his unusual school. Harry finds himself drawn deep inside a mystical world he never knew existed and closer to his own noble destiny. It almost sounds like two totally different books.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as you were reading yours, I was like, God, like that doesn't sound like what I read.
That's so weird. Like, you have it as marked as currently reading.
Yeah. Oh, because it's under more editions. Like, they've got all the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone. So it's all like under the same, but you can pick like different. Like, I can see now the one that you looked at is the Pottermore Publishing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The one that I just read from is the Scholastic Publishing.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah. I just love the series so freaking much.
I forgot that I wanted to wait to reread this when they released the dramatized like narration, like the audiobooks.
Oh yeah. When is that?
I forgot that. I don't know. I searched it up. There was nothing on Audible.
I feel like we've been talking about that for...
Yep.
Did it get canceled?
Oh.
The last thing I can see about the news for it is in like April of 2024.
What the heck?
That it will be exclusively on Audible late 2025. So we'll just have to listen to it again for 2026.
Okay. That's fine.
Production starting soon. The full cast audio editions late 2025.
All right.
So our end of month episode is now going to be split into two. I know we talked about it on the last episode, but just in case if anybody missed it, we will be breaking up the episode into the first episode will be just our recap of books read. Then we'll be releasing the second episode the same day. We'll be doing it like the same time, which will be our deep dive on Philosopher's Stone. We'll be talking about the characters. We'll be talking about the differences between the book and the movies, what we loved, what we didn't love, which I mean isn't going to be a whole lot.
Nothing.
Yeah. So if you're interested to hear how it feels as a 30-year-old rereading the series with a critical, maybe not so critical thinking, but the attempt of critical thinking.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm excited. Yeah.
And we've already watched the movie, so.
Yes.
Might have to watch it again before we.
I might actually just watch it again just for shits and giggles.
Love it.
I think that's everything. Is there anything else you want to?
No.
Well, don't forget to rate and subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And pop over to our Instagram.
Yeah.
At My Sisters TBR.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. See you in 2 weeks.